Well, I'm here at the Ray. I'm meeting Bijan Mostafavi. We're gonna do a little interview, then we're gonna hit the gym and get our workout on, because you know, me and Bijan, we're all about health. It's all about getting this temple together. All right? It's on.
Hi, my name is Bijan Mostafavi, and I'm a comic from San Diego, California. And yes, as you can tell from my name, my ancestors are from Fresno.
So I'm here with my good buddy, Bijan Mostafavi. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Comedy, clean. Why clean?
Why clean? I have two little brothers. They're 20 years younger than me, and I want them to be able to hear everything that I do, so I make it a little bit cleaner for them. Mm-hmm. And I try to get stuff out there that families can watch, that everybody can watch, because I feel like if you're a dirty comic, you can't always do a clean show, but if you're a clean comic, you can do any show.
Right.
So try to reach as many people as I can.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy 7 years now, almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years?
I feel like I've been doing it my whole life, but 7 years officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started here in San Diego. I started at the Comedy Store out in La Jolla. Actually, no, I didn't start at the Comedy Store. I went there the very first time that I actually saw live comedy in San Diego. Mm-hmm. It was there, and I saw my buddy John go up on Easter Sunday. We all went and watched him. We were excited, and he bombed miserably. And I remember sitting there like, oh man, I could do that. I could bomb and then get better. So then 2 weeks later, I went up, and then it was.
And how'd it go?
I bombed too. But I got better. Some of my friends were there laughing at me for bombing.
Laughing at you.
At me for bombing. So at least I got them to laugh
That's what
somehow.
friends do.
Yeah, they come and laugh at you in those times when you're in pain.
Right.
But I kept trying and then it kind of just picked up wind, and I couldn't stop doing it.
It's like you get a little taste, and then you just have to have a little bit more. And a little
bit
more.
Yeah. Every time you make someone, like that one time I make someone laugh, it feels so good that I just want to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. But then when you bomb, like the highs are highs, but the lows are really lows.
Right.
When you bomb, you're like, man, I should quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I quit comedy probably like twice a week.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you when I first started it, and I was like, oh, shoot.
He was like,
that guy's
way
funny.
Than him.
No, I was someone else that I looked up to try to catch. So,
well, I think you're one of the funniest guys out there.
Oh man, you got to see more people.
It's like I've been seeing people for over 30 years now. You know.
Yeah.
And you're one of the funniest guys. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in that chair.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You know, you're one of the funniest guys around. What drives you
to do comedy?
Yeah. All right.
I love making people laugh. I feel like the best parts of the show are after. If someone had a hard day and they tell me that I made it better for them. Mm-hmm. I grew up trying to make my parents laugh, my mom laugh, everyone I was around. My mom has depression, so I'd always try to make her laugh. So it's kind of in me to try to brighten other people's day just by making them giggle or laugh or being silly. So I kind of try to spread that to everybody.
You're Captain Save 'em All.
I'm Captain Save, yes. That's a good twist for that phrase. Yeah. Captain Save a laugh. That's what I'm good at too. So try to stick to what you're good at. I can't do much else. So.
Do you have a day job?
I do have a day job. I'm actually I'm a budget analyst for the city.
Really?
Yeah. It's shocking. People give me that look all the time. They're like, "You can do math?" That's weird. That's so weird. But I'm trying to break out and just do comedy eventually, and I'll be there someday. But right now, I got to keep that cubicle job to write all my jokes in, you know?
Yeah. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself just doing comedy on another pilot like this, or back on this show with you 5 years down the road when it's killing it. But I'd like to be a traveling headliner that's just doing comedy, not have a day job, be able to support myself.
A road comic?
Yeah.
That's that early age in comedy, because when you get to be my age, you don't want to be a road comic. You want to run out on a weekend and get a job, you know, in a venue and get back home.
What's the cap? What's the age that I should be like, nah, I'm too old to do that road stuff?
22, 23.
22, 20, so 14 years past. I'm just getting started. I'm 34. My We Fit age is 68. By the way, I'm 68 on that. If you go by We.
We Fit.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know
so I'm way too old for the road.
I'm too old for We Fit.
They're like, actually, you're dead on this.
I have no idea what that is. I was still using a typewriter last week. Like somebody put a computer on me. Well, what sort of wizardry is this? So, what's the end game?
I don't know if I ever have an end game. I don't think I'll ever stop.
What are you heading toward? Is it just to be a road comic, or is it something?
No, it's not just to be a road comic, but I don't know exactly what I want to do in the very end. I always want stand-up in my life, but eventually I would like to get into acting and be in a sitcom.
Yeah.
So I guess the end goal would be to be in the sitcom acting. But as far as the road, when I say road comic, I don't want to be someone who's just traveling. I want to be a headliner that can go over to clubs all over the country and do a show for the weekend and then come back home.
Come on home.
Yeah, on my own schedule.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reaching for.
You can pick and choose.
Pick and choose, yeah. So when they hear my name, they'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, he can come. But eventually I'd like to be acting in sitcoms. That's my very, very end goal. So, but as far as stand-up, I feel like I kind of always want to have
Have you studied any acting?
Bands. No, I haven't. I never have. I just started getting into it basically a couple years ago. From stand-up, I just started meeting people.
You might want to take a workshop or something.
Yeah.
Just saying. Because, I mean, there's a lot of, like, really talented people out there that are trained thespians.
Thespians.
Yes, they're trained thespians. And I've worked with some comics who couldn't play themselves.
Oh, really?
So you might want to take a workshop or two.
I'll take a workshop on myself.
Just to see if you got to get some training. Because like, here's the thing. I go and I talk to kids all the time in colleges and high schools. And I tell them, if you walk into the room and you see me, and we're reading for the same part, and you don't have any training, you ain't getting a job. Not going to happen.
Well, there you have it. I'm going to get trained.
Get trained.
I will. I'll get trained before it. It's part of the plan.
Other than when you first started, was there a time that you just bombed miserably after you already knew that you were good at this?
Oh, man, it's hard to pick one. Yeah. I've bombed plenty of times after knowing I was good. Sometimes it's just hitting the wrong crowd, doing the wrong material on a crowd, or a crowd not paying attention. I did a bar. I did a bar show out in East County, and it was in the back, and it was kind of like an open area where there was outside too.
Yeah.
A couple started fighting with each other in the middle of my set after I was already bombing for a good 8 minutes. Wow. So it was quiet, and then right when I got a reaction, it was a couple fighting, and then I had to address it. So I started talking to them, and then the woman came on stage and started yelling at me. And then the man came on stage on the other side to defend me. And then eventually I put the mic in between them and let them argue for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And that was the best. That was like the most laughs I got, was just kind of getting out of the way. And then the husband put his shirt over his head like a little kid and walked off the stage.
Wow.
And then I had to go back on there and bomb for 15 more minutes of fat jokes. I was like, well, all right, you guys fly Southwest now?
That's an epic show.
Yeah, it was good.
I wish I would have saw that.
I'm glad you didn't.
Wow.
I was PTSD. I'm glad you brought that back up for me.
If you could pick one person, dead or alive, that you'd like to feature for, who would it be?
He doesn't do stand-up anymore, but I'd pick Jim Carrey. He's been my favorite since I was a little kid. He's part of the reason I wanted to get into comedy. I watched all his movies when I was younger. I love how he acts out everything, how he's silly in any kind of setting, how he carries every scene he's in. I love everything about him. Like I would love to just meet him and talk to him, see what I can learn from him, and just tell him how much I appreciate everything he's done. So
I think I know what he'd tell you.
Yeah. Get some training?
Just take it really big. Really big. It's going to be great.
There you go. I'd listen then. Yeah, man. If I could spend just one day talking to Jim Carrey, I think that'd make my whole career worth it.
I think at this point, I mean, I met you here so we can go and work out, so we might as well.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm in my gym clothes.
All gymmed up, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm just gonna wear like jeans, like the Barbarian Brothers. Remember they used to go to the gym in jeans.
Yeah.
Boots.
I think gladiators wore jeans originally.
Well, that's what they wore.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They didn't go down to the leather skirt until
the 90s.
Yeah,
when Russell Crowe played them.
Yeah,
something like that.
And then they went to
it was jeans before
leather
that.
skirt.
Russell wanted to wear jeans.
Yeah. And they just want to do something different. So I think that's what we should do.
We should
go and hit the gym. Get our workout on.
I'm ready.
Because
girls for the girls.
Look, all I'm thinking is for the two of us getting ourselves together, right? And find a way to harness all of this funny energy and put that into our temple as well.
So got a lot of temple.
Yeah. Yeah, we're temple-y.
I'm ready.
Let's go hit the gym.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing. I told Mark that I go to the gym all the time, but I didn't even know we had a gym in San Diego. I had to look it up. So now I'm gonna go with him and just do what he does and pretend that I know what I'm doing. That should go well.
Come on. You got this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it up there. Come on. Yeah! All right, good job. Good job.
Done these before?
Yeah.
You just pull the wall backwards, right?
No, this is a pull myself up, right?
You gotta pull it, you be, I mean, look.
Yeah! Woo! Hey, go ahead, stretch it out.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Rep
Yeah.
one stretch.
This is a good core exercise right here.
Okay.
You get out the way.
Oh, that was a team. We're a team.
This is a good core.
We're a team. You see, breathe. Breathe like this. They taught me in yoga. Usually I'm laying on my back like this.
We gotta get the.
Do the curls. Do the curls. Curls for the girls.
This is my favorite machine.
Curls for the. Oh, I know this one.
In the gym.
This is like, it's like a.
No, what are you doing?
It's like that. To stretch the legs.
Oh.
I'll show you sometime.
All right, well, see,
Show me what you think it is.
this is the best curl in the gym. Go ahead. I'll give you some resistance. You good?
One. I did one.
That was good.
I did one. That was good.
Come on, push. Come to me. Come to me. Go 12.
12. Two more. Come on. Two more.
I guess with my. Yeah. Move that wall. Yeah.
One. I did one. I love Mark and all, but I just did a quick search. I don't think any of the things we did were real exercises.
All right, Bijan. This is the hardest exercise in the gym. I mean, this is really where you gotta have some focus and some control.
I can do it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Go. That's a lot of reps.
I ate the cherry. That's supposed to be the last rep.
You eat the stem too?
It's part of the workout.
With fiber.
So go for it. You know, most people forget to work out both sides of the body. You gotta go left too.
I'm telling you, in this world today, it's gonna be survival of the fattest.
I mean, people just don't care about health anymore, you know?
Well, here's the thing.
We gotta train.
When the apocalypse happens, all those people that are vegan, I'm eating them.
Do this.
You're probably ready for the Iron Man competition. You know, the world's strongest man?
I mean, I'm carving up right now.
As it turns out, Mark doesn't go to the gym a lot either. Shocker. In the end, we had a good laugh about it, then we hit that last exercise for 3 or 4 more hours before we headed out to the comedy club.
Welcome back to Pure Comedy, brought to you by pureflix.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Bijan Mostafavi.
Have fun. Thanks, man. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I had a strange week. I actually performed at a bar on the beach, and I was waiting outside for my set at the door, like I always do, because I'm a big guy. I like a breeze, so I stand outside. And there was a lady that came by with her bike on the boardwalk, and this is true. She stopped at me, and she hopped off of her bike, and she handed it to me. And she's like, "Sir, can you watch my bike? I need to use the restroom in the bar." And I was like, "Yeah, lady, I'm a trusting person. I'll watch your bike." She gives it to me and she goes inside and she's gone for like 10 minutes or so. Now in that 10 minutes, I'm thinking, wow, what a trusting person, right? What a good individual. She looked around the beach, found the one good dude, which was me, knew that I wasn't a thief. And then I looked around at where I was at the beach and I saw these buff college kids running around. All of them had their shirts off. All of them had abs on top of abs on top of abs. And I realized she didn't pick me because she thought I was a nice person. She looked around and she found the one dude she thought wasn't physically capable of stealing the bike in time. which was 10 minutes. That's so disrespectful, right? So I stole her bike. I took off. I was like, I'm out of here. Proved her right, though. 2 blocks up the road, I got winded. I was like, this isn't worth it, and I just threw her bike on the side of the road. I don't like being out of shape. I've tried everything I can to be in good shape. I've even tried hot yoga. This is true. I tried hot yoga. First of all, I don't know why it's called that, because any yoga I do is very hot. It's very difficult, because I feel like I'm doing yoga when I cut my toenails. It's no joke. I took a class that was 90 minutes with an instructor. 90 minutes. For me, it was 9 minutes. Minute 10, I laid on my back, and I was like, I'll just lose weight from the heat. That'll work. I'll just lay here. And the instructor walked up, and she's like, that's not what I said to do. That's not steady tortoise, or whatever it was called. And I was like, this is napping bear. Get away from me. I made my own up. And then I fell asleep and lost 10 pounds. It was a good day. I don't have any children, but I have 2 little brothers that are significantly younger than me, so I have to be a role model. And I was just talking to them about the importance of having goals in life. And they were 16 and 11 at the time. Ben is the 16-year-old. Blake is the 11-year-old. Ben comes up to me. He's like, hey, I've never cussed in my life. That's my life goal. I want to be the guy that dies without ever cussing. And I was like, wow, I've never heard of anybody doing that, but I hope you make that. That's a great goal. My other little brother walks up. He's 11. He's more rambunctious like me, so surprised that he had a goal. But he walks up. He's like, hey, you guys inspired me. I have a life goal now, too. I was like, what is it? He's like, I just want to make sure that Ben cusses before he dies. I was like, great, you're driven. Now I have a goal, too. I'll help you. You gave my life purpose. Thanks. I go see my family, and they live out in Alabama. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you have to fly from San Diego. And I fly Southwest. That's my airline. It's one of those airlines that's kind of general admission. You don't get a seat. You don't get a seat on your ticket. You don't get like A32. You just get a boarding pass, and then it's kind of a free-for-all when you get on the plane and you pick your own seat. You're supposed to check in early, get to the airport early, check your bags early, check in at the terminal early. I forget all of those steps. So by the time I get to the terminal where I board, there's like 100 people already in line. They're there early, they're diligent, and I can't stand them. So I just board dead last every time I fly now. No matter what, I board dead last. Last person on the plane. I hate being uncomfortable, but that's inevitable for me on one of those flights. I just love to see the looks on all those people's faces that got there early and saved a seat, and then they think I'm going to be the one that ruins their day when I hop on the plane. People get there early and they sit down, and then they have that empty seat next to them with a magazine, and they're like, oh man, it's going to be amazing. Nothing's going to ruin this trip. This is going to be great. Which hopefully gets winded and doesn't make it this far. I don't know what to do. I'll make it as terrible as I can, though. I'll jog laps around the terminal so I sweat a little more before I hop on the plane. Go to one of those sandwich shops, grab a couple packets of mustard and spread it all over my shirt so I'm sloppy when I get on there. Oh, yeah. And I'll wait till the last second, right before they shut the door. I leap onto the plane, and I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Then when everybody looks up with that shocked face, I'm like, who's it going to be? And then I just dance down the aisle really slowly. It's my move, man. Shockingly, even with those dance moves, I'm single. Dead silence, that's what I like when I say I'm single. I had a girlfriend. We broke up because we had dissimilar interests. I don't know if this ever happened to anybody, but I was like really into watching sports, really into watching football on the weekends, and she was like really into dating other people, so it didn't work cohesively like I would think. But I remember telling my buddies about breaking up with my girlfriend, and I remember them all saying something cliche which bothered me. Like my best friend, he couldn't say something genuine. He like reached down and he just said something he heard in like a book or a movie. He looked at me, he's like, oh, you're single? Your girlfriend, was she the one that got away? Was she the one that, have you ever heard that? Was she the one that got away? I can't stand that saying. I was like, yeah, I'm single. They all got away. Every single one of them is gone. Don't say got away like I'm chasing them physically. That makes me sound insane. Makes me sound like a serial killer, like I just went downstairs to my basement and there's empty shackles. And I'm like, no! The girls! They got away! It's not how it's supposed to work. I'm out of the loop with a lot of things. I'm out of the loop with slang words. I just found out in certain contexts the word beef is a bad thing. Like if you go up to someone, you're like, hey man, we got beef, that means you want to fight them. I didn't know this. My whole life growing up, beef's been wonderful. I've never had a problem with it. Never had my mom come up to me when I was younger and be like, hey son, we have beef, and then I punch her. That's rude. That never happens. Well, I was at a party the other day. I'm just standing there, and this guy bumps into me, and he backs up. And he's like, yo, homie, you bumped into me. And I was like, well, homie, I'm a large person. I bump into everybody. Move along. Comes back, and he shoved me in the chest, and he's like, no, man, you did that on purpose. I saw you. Now we're gonna have some beef. Yes. I was like, this party's terrible, I'm starving, let's go now. He's like, you wanna take it outside? Even better. I love picnics, he read my mind. Rips his shirt off, storms outside, I'm confused, but I'm more hungry than confused. I chase him out there. And he's cool, man, you're gonna feed me. Why'd you rip your clothes off? And then he punched me, right when I said that, punched me in the eye, and that hurt a little bit. That hurt physically a little bit, but that hurt my feelings more. That hurt my soul, right? I got punched in the face while expecting a cheeseburger. That's a wrap. And that's a wrap for me, guys. You've been amazing. Thank you so much.
Bijan Mostafavi. Follow him on social media.